Hi guys, Danielle here. I am here to show you today this packet. It is a canning kit that I got from Hillhjem. I'm going to go ahead and show you, or attempt to show you, what each part is and how it's used. So let's dig in. This first part is the QR code for the recipe book and so much more. These are the kitchen tongs, the canning funnel, the vinyl coated jar lifter, the bubble popper, the jar wrench, magnetic lid lifter, and the 100 dissolvable labels. Okay, to start with, the funnel works with wide mouth jars and small mouth jars. In order to use the funnel, you just stick the funnel inside the jar. This one has a little less water. And then you pour into the jar. You can take it out, remove it, put it in your next jar, pour the filling in there. And there you have managed to, in this case, put water in the jar, and it is not wet all around the rim or messy, dirty, sticky, any of the above. That is the funnel. Now, the next one we'll show will be this one. Now this is, I know it's called a bubble popper, which it is, but it's also a measuring tool. It's multi-purpose. For the demonstration, I've got a jar of black olives, okay? We're gonna go ahead and fill it with water. Now I don't fill it all the way full because I need to get the bubbles out first, or I fill it up to about the bottom line here. Then you take this tool, don't go with the stair step side, go with the smooth end, and you go around the edges. Now you'll see, as you go around the edges, a whole bunch of air bubbles are going to come up out of your food. And then I'll go around the center and I'll just kind of stir it all up. As you know, olives have a lot of holes, so there's a lot of air space in there. Your goal is get out as much air as possible. You don't want that air in there when you're canning. Okay, now that that's all out, you can see my water level went down quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little more water in. Now, you'll notice on a lot of recipes and instructions on how much water should be left in the jar. That's where this side of the tool comes in handy. If you look at it very carefully, it shows measurements. I swear I'm going blind. Okay, it shows 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1 inch. What that basically means is you go on the little groove, so like 1 inch, you go on this top groove, set that on the edge of the can, on the edge of the jar. Your water should not be above the bottom of this. So in this jar, if I'm looking, I'm at 3/4 inch is how much headway I need. A lot of recipes say that you should only leave 1/2 inch. So if that's the case, I can use my funnel, or since it's just a little bit, I'll pour just enough in to go ahead and reach that 1/2 inch space. That way, every time you have the correct measurement. The next item we have is a jar lid lifter, a magnetic lid lifter. Now when you're canning, you're supposed to typically get this rubber seal on these canning jars wet, well, warm, so that way the glue becomes a little more malleable. We're gonna, for the sake of demonstration, say this is really, really hot water, okay? It is not. It's very, very cold. But the lid lifter makes it really nice because you can just go down and it will magnetically pick up a lid for you. And you can come over here and put it, make sure you've cleaned your rim, put it directly on top of your lid, never having to touch it, and make it so it's not sterile anymore. That hot water sterilizes the lids and it softens the glue. It also works really well for the canning rings. Now these rings, a lot of times you will find if this is really, really hot, and so is the jar because what you have inside it is hot, you're not going to be able to tighten that very well. That's where this comes in handy. Now, it works well for large and small. You'll see the large mouth. It'll go around that, and it'll go around the small. You just take it, put it on there, and usually I would have a pot holder or something. I'd hold this, and I can go ahead and tighten the lid. Now remember, you never want to tighten that lid too tight. You only want it to finger tightness. You don't want to wrench it on there, okay? And there's your jar ready to go. Now, when it's time to put the jar inside of a pot, so we're going to pull out a pot just for the sake of showing it. No, this is not my canning pot. But let's say we need to get it inside the pot, but it's too hot, or the water in the pot is hot. You do not want to burn yourself. You take this tool, see if you can see it against my shirt. Take the tool, and it fits directly over the lid, just like that. And you can put it in the pot, and then you're done. And when you're all done canning, to remove the jars, always use this tool. You do not want to get burnt. Just lift it out. And I mean, this thing is a really strong tool. It's really, really handy to have. Then you set it down. Now, the kitchen tongs. This is pretty self-explanatory. These are for anything you need. It also helps to make sure that your jars stay sterile without you actually like sticking your hand in them or anything like that. So if you have a bunch of jars in a sink filled with really hot water, you can pull them out using this. You can also pull them out of a dishwasher with this. You never want to stick your hands inside a really hot jar because you can destroy the sterile surface that's in there. Now, let's say you're all done canning and it's time to put labels on everything. That's where these come in really handy. I use these all the time. I'm absolutely in love with them. And I want to show you, just for the sake of showing you how they work. I should have had this ready. You would take the label, write on the label what it is, then stick it on your jar. So to remove the label, it is super simple. I'm going to stick it in this bottle, but you literally just get it wet. And the label, okay, the label is gone. It comes right off. That way your jar is fresh and ready for your next round. I hope this tutorial helped you out, and I will be posting more videos soon. Bye!